Vroom, vroom. So, you know, we was doing A, B, C, well, you know, this is S. Well, the sun is shining, and I thought it'd be quite good to talk about this car, because we had a lovely response when we bought it in Portugal. A lot of people looked at it, what we actually bought. And although to get it mechanically, all we've done is clean the sump out and got it running. So it's still like that. But the bodywork had terrible woodworm. So we've had the bodywork done. We used a couple of little bits from the original wood, but hardly worth mentioning really.
You said you'd done the suspension.
Oh, it is better. I mean, it didn't move at all before. The speedo's working. Right, so anyway, so this is the car that we bought. So the woodwork's been done, the original panels have been put back. I said to the bloke who did it, don't knock every dent out of it and make it look like a bit of plastic, because, you know, I want it to look original. It's a fabulous original car. It's got the chassis number on the bonnet hinge, and it's got the lovely original chassis plate. You know, it's a very good car. And when we got it originally, I said to everybody, look at the pedals. I said, look at them pedals. They ain't done no work, you know. I mean, them pedals should have like the side of them worn away, and you can see they're just lovely. I don't think it's done a lot of work. I don't think the back axle oil has ever been changed, because I had a look in there, because I had to do a few little things, and I thought, well, I ain't going to bother with that. It looked ever so thick, and it looked good, so I haven't touched that. One of the modifications, which, to be honest, we had to do, because since I had the old cancer lock, this shoulder don't work like it used to. And it works pretty good like that, but it don't work very good like that. In fact, it's hurting me just doing that. So in the Mini, it's a nightmare. But anyway, we modified the trials car, which you've all seen me and Susie trialling in, and we made a remote control. Well, that's exactly what we've done here, but we didn't modify
See around the other side.
We didn't modify the top, because we had a top that had a bit broken off it. So you see, so that is, as far as I'm concerned, that is a lot easier than going like that. And then at the same time, we moved the handbrake forward 6 inches. So, because that's a lot easier to get hold of. Because originally it's down there. So God knows what you do when you're on a hill when you're trying to, but anyway, that's a lot better. So we've made that up. I think we've made a pretty good job. We used the original bit there. You know, bit of machining, bit of welding, but that works like a charm. So, you know, that's a modification.
Was it 3-speed?
3-speed, but that's almost a modification done for a poor bloke that's got a dodgy shoulder, because that is exactly why we did it. The dash is all back to original. I mean, I can't pronounce that, Susie, you might be able to do it, but apparently in Portugal you had to have the name of the owner on the car in the 20s, and that is apparently why
the original owner, wow.
Yeah, so, you know, and then luckily this bit here was missing, but one of our very good friends gave me that. You know, I mean, that's worth a fortune really, because they're always, what happens is they turn to nothing. All this alley just turns to a load of dust, and this is absolutely beautiful. And you switch it on, look, and the light comes on. Yeah. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So there we are, so that's that. And then, obviously, we've got the original seats, which we've still got, but they're desperate, you know, and if we'd have had to do anything with them, they would have just looked new. So I thought, well, we won't touch them, but one of the things I wanted to do was make it so that you could adjust the seat.
Okay. So
my granddaughter could drive it, or, you know, anybody could drive it, really. Susie could drive it. So, so that's that done, and we did the steering wheel. There's a session about us doing the steering wheel, and that's turned out really good. So there we are, this is the Salmson, but the reason we haven't done anything with it, you know, the weather's not exactly been good, but the Dynamo, we could not get the Dynamo to charge. So anyway, in the end, we decided that the Dynamo was a 6-volt Dynamo, and we had a 12-volt battery. So we thought, oh, so anyway, we rang up and thought, oh yeah, we can convert it to 12 volt. So I sent the Dynamo off, and it converted to 12 volts, came back lovely, painted black, felt good, felt the bearings was good. Right, this is the Portugal Salmson. The only thing that's been not using it is because the Dynamo don't charge, because it turned out to be 6 volts and I thought it was 12. Anyway, we've had it converted. It's now a 12 volt Dynamo.
Yep, and you're just fitting it.
And we've got a little bit of extra wiring to do, but hopefully it'll charge and then we can drive it. So I'm now refitting it to the car. And then old John will sort the wiring out.
Yeah.
And that'll be this car on the road.
Again.
But we've never touched the engine on this car. That is as I bought it. I mean, we had to do the woodwork on the body. So that'd be the next thing probably if we were having a look at that.
Okay.
But what we'll probably do is we'll put that engine in, which is an engine that we've done.
Is it the same?
Same, more or less. I will put that in and then try it and then do the other engine and then put it back. So it's not off the road, you know. But I'm struggling a little bit here. Anyway, so then we wired it all up, nothing. The light wouldn't go out. John put the gauge on it, it's nothing coming out of it. So then we rung the firm up and they said try this and try that and try the other. I tell you, we messed about, you know, not all day, but an hour here and an hour there. We must have spent a day working on it. And in the end I said, right John, let's take it off. We put the Dynamo in the vise, we made a little attachment up for the drill so you could put it on the end of the Dynamo and do up the Jubilee clip so we could drive it. And then we put lights and we put the cutout and we did it all as if it was in the car. Put the drill on, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, it might be this, John. So again, we wasted another hour changing the wires around and doing everything. Nothing. And suddenly old John said, let's try running it the other way. Click the thing on the drill, press the perfect. Light went out, charging beautifully. It was running the wrong way. But obviously we sent it away. They never asked us which way it ran. So I've got a suspicion that it was always the wrong way, and it was probably why it didn't charge in the first place. But anyway, the people insisted that we send it back and they would swap the wires round inside to make it charge. So now we're waiting for that. When we get that back, not that it matters too much, because obviously it's got a magneto, but nevertheless, it'd be nice to get the Dynamo charging, and when the weather starts to be like this, I'd like to drive this little car. But obviously you all know how I was involved with my dad, and it was the first car I worked on, and blah, 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 blah. So I've got a lot of attachment to these cars, but I was looking at it earlier with the sun shining on it, and this was a cycle car. I mean, compared to a Beati, this was nothing. These were shillings by comparison. And when you look at it, it looks a bloody good car, you know, it's a little sporty body. In 1926, it would be like buying a McLaren or something, you know, or a cheap McLaren. And, you know, I thought, what a good car for the money. Got a little twin cam engine, capable of 70 miles an hour. You know, I mean, it must have been terrific value in 1926 if you could afford one. Anyway, whoever afforded this one, it went to Portugal and actually didn't get used very much, I don't think. It suffered more from sitting in a barn and the woodworm attacking the wood. But, you know, all the mechanical bits are absolutely lovely. So I'm knocked out with this little car. So when we get the Dynamo charging, we go for a real proper run in it, and I might try and get to a Salmson meeting, because, you know, nobody in the Salmson club's actually seen it in the flesh. So, you know, we was doing A, B, C. Well, you know, this is S.
I was about to prompt you on that.
Yeah, well, you know.
Also with S, did you say something about the suspension?
Yeah, well, we took a couple of leaves out of rear springs, which made it softer, but unfortunately, then the axle hit the body. So what we've done is we've made a couple of tapers up, and we put the springs in.
I can see that. Let me look. You keep talking.
Without the leaves, we angled the springs so they got a little bit more clearance, and obviously the speedo drive was crushing on the body. So we've given that a bit more clearance and raised it up a couple of inches. And I mean, Susie gets in it and it don't bottom now. And we drove down the drive. That was a bit bumpy, but it's all right. So I'm knocked out of it, really. I mean, undoubtedly the engine, we're going to have a look at it at some stage. But I thought, well, let's have a good drive in it first. I mean, it's lovely and quiet. So I thought we could put the Grand Prix special engine, which we did a session on, didn't we? Put it together with the Mickey.
With the engine stand?
Yeah, no, Mickey Hudson camshafts and bits and pieces. So it'd be quite good to try that. And then obviously take this to bits, have a good look at it, make sure the cross gears are good, which they're very unlikely to be. And then, you know, the steering's a bit heavy, you might have to look at that a bit. But anyway, so that's the Salmson. So this is up to date with the Salmson. Thumbs up, subscribe, and we've got more to come.